Now I'm live. I think I screwed that up. I've been talking to myself this whole time. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Didn't make too much progress here without you. So, got the heat bed out, put on the power negative cable, and talked a little bit about my day. That was about it. So, we got that, and we're looking for the M3 10RT. Yeah, user error. So you can see me now, right? Instead of you can hear me now, you can see me now. You can see me now. Yeah, that was user error. I was trying to schedule it. So that's kind of why I'm doing all these live. To kind of work through some of the growing pains here. But yeah, I talked about my day. Talked about kind of all the prints failing today in the shop. And I think it is environmental. So it can be temperature based. I've noticed filaments in particular, like Bamboo Labs, the PLA carbon fiber that we use in lava gray. For my environment, for how it works, I noticed most of the year I have this special spot in my X1 carbons. I can crack the door just about an inch and it prints perfect. Any more, any less, or if it's closed, it makes a mess. So anyway, it's weird. I don't think it's coincidence that sometimes you walk into, you know, a print farm or your printer and multiple things aren't working. I think the temperature change, humidity change in your environment, even if you dry filament, we take that out of the equation. I think just the, you know, surrounding air temperature and air can really impact things aside from your filament, but just the ambient air. And even if you have an enclosure on your printer, you're still opening the door, you're still putting things in and out. You're still over there like peering at it, like, you know, like watching a Hot Pocket cook in the microwave. So I think all those things, you know, I walked in today and I had just, everything wasn't working. My Prusa MK4 was giving me fits. I was trying to print parts for this that we broke and ended up putting them in the XL, I think because of the enclosure, but it's kind of a cold day. I had kind of the doors open. I was doing some painting and some things. So I kind of think that's why it's having some issues, but it's been kind of interesting dynamic with temperatures lately around here. So even if you have a heater or whatnot, there's some underlying, I think, conditions that can really impact printing. Something that happened to me today because usually everything tends to break at once. So had a clogged H2S, got it fixed. And I'm printing currently in the Prusa XL, a replacement grid for the one we broke. Notice I say we, even though it was me, the one we broke yesterday. So this is acrylic for some reason instead of a printed part, but there was a blessing in disguise. Because when I got on printables, of course, there was a grid that you could print. And people have made it a little stronger, which tells me I'm probably not the only dude that has broke one. And the other thing I found out was, it's kind of hard to see, but you know, these fans stick out, and this is obviously inside the printer where all the magic happens. So, you know, you have your extruder moving around here and all those things. Well, there's the little ears on the fan here. And what I was kind of picking up on quickly, just on printables, not even reading, is that a lot of people make a guard, I guess you would call it, for the top of this kind of a staple shaped little horseshoe shape that goes on the fans. Because I guess those cables, as they go by there, they'll catch on these ears. The cables, tubes, you know, all the stuff that the extruder drags around. So anyway, so I found that was interesting. So I printed that, busted out some Prusa PETG or PTG for you fancy folks. In bright Prusa orange. I did that, kind of give it some OG orange color, and also kind of help me, I guess, remember if it breaks in the future, like these are kind of upgrades or add-ons that I put on there. So I don't go looking for the piece, right, that I can print. So anyway, so right now on the XL, hopefully printing well, fingers crossed, is this grill guard, I guess you want to call it, and then the guard for the top of the ears. So that's printing, so we'll, you know, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because knowing my luck, I would have printed a new guard and then the cables would have cut on there. So anyway, we're doing good. We got our heat bed, doing kind of our magnetic deal here, and we got the connectors in the right spot. Got the ground or the negative on the outside, and then the positive on the inside. So 24 volt, and we're gonna come, let's see what's it want from the bottom here, I guess. Does that make sense? Not really, but I guess it does. It wants us to do something like that. Yes, yes. That looks like they want. Boxes in the back. Well, I'm glad you asked. Those are Forum Labs boxes, and hopefully we can, do something cool with those here in the very near future. Perfect camera angle. Oh yeah, I am. You'd be proud because I got it swapped, and I of course did it yesterday after the stream. Still trying to work through some, things, learning mostly. But it updated overnight again, and so it actually, I almost forgot to swap it again, but I did remember. So we're doing pretty good here, actually. Near future means tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm putting together a new shelf and some things, and I really would hope, tomorrow we could do that. I don't know where that part is. Maybe. Middle part's 1 of 3. Let me find this part. It's a big, crazy looking part. Look at that. And extension joint in the electronics package. Not seeing, expansion joint. Oh, if I could read, that would be beneficial. I feel like it's kind of a necessity for what I'm tackling here. Looking for a really specific part, which it says it's in here, but don't quite see it. Well, it says it's in this bag. Yeah, hopefully the Forum Labs, hopefully that can be a function of tomorrow. I'm going to assume we're not getting this done today, and I actually can't stay as long today, so yeah. Hopefully tomorrow I can do kind of a long stream in the morning, finish this up, and go from there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't panic, Prusa always gives you extras. Okay. That part, we got that part, and we need M34R. I'm looking. Lots of M3s, not the one we're after. Okay, here we go. Yeah, near future. So I put some shelves together today. The worst part is I need to kind of move some stuff around to, accommodate this Formlabs, so I'm trying to put, you know, the resin stuff together so it can stink together. And I don't have it just spread out everywhere, which, you know, drive somebody insane. There's always one spare. Cool. Okay, we're rocking and rolling now. It's got lots of specific instructions. Prusa is good for a guy like me about kind of like it tells you once and it tells you twice, and then it's like I feel like it's like, hey, did you hear me? And you're like, oh man, I'm glad you said it because I didn't. So they must get a lot of you know, people that script the same thing, and so they make it known. All right, so this is the heat bed cartridge. Oh my gosh, and I about had it backwards, I think. Yes, I did. It told me a million times. They also, sometimes they have a lot of tiny holes together, so it's cool because they kind of put, they put like little red X's on what you're not supposed to do. Just kind of handy. I was gonna share the instructions or be able to at least cut to the instructions today, but I decided I needed to get going. So that might be a goal for tomorrow, to where I can kind of share the instruction screen. Yeah, Glober TV's evolved a little bit. Went from a Raspberry Pi and Octoprint, $20 webcam to, or a Raspberry Pi cam, to this, huh? Why is there so many Formlabs boxes if there's only one printer and one wash machine? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, who knows such things? I know there's quite a few. It actually surprised me because some of it came, I don't know what day it is, Tuesday, I guess it showed up. I was like, cool. And there was kind of the amount of boxes I was expecting. And then yesterday, there's more boxes from that same place. I'm like, they're pretty big. I'm like, what? So here we are. Leave a gap, leave a gap, leave a gap, leave a gap. We left a gap. Cool. What next? What next? Okay. Holy moly. So we take these little expansion joints and they go on like that, I guess. The universal wrench. Man, it is like very specific. Don't screw with me, it says. I guess that's the first one. Okay. Holy moly. All right. we're tightening all these expansion joints. I mean, hey man, the only thing I screwed up today was I forgot to start the stream. No big deal. Nobody needs to watch. I can just sit here and talk to myself. Pretty much do that anyway, right? There we go. So I'm just moving these along, man. Trying to keep these in the orientation that are shown in the instructions. Some of them are kind of square to the world and some are angled. Using their little universal wrench that comes with it here to get everything kind of positioned correctly. Trying to be very particular about how I do it, because you never know with these guys. Might be a reason for it. So the tool backs to the way the direction it slides on. At least that's the plan. Okay. And one last one. Hoping to get through the heat bed assembly on this stream and then get as much of the rest of it as we can tomorrow. But it'll take as long as it takes, I suppose. Okay. I think we did pretty good with that. RGB LED strip. Oh man, I'm getting fancy now. Let's see. Electronics and fasteners package. Electronics. I think we found it. Yep. All right. Sometimes I have boxes and boxes and boxes, but they're pretty good about labeling them. All right. It's telling you to be careful of the RGB LED resistors. How crazy do people get, man? It's crazy enough to break fan guards, so pretty crazy, I guess. What do we have going on here? Okay. It's a harness for later. And then we have, let's see, which one do we want? There's two different ones here. One with the white clip. It looks like we have a stop, some sort of stop for an access. Stop sensor, stop switch. Okay, so this is the one we want. Electronics chambers. Cool. I think we just got rid of another box. So we want this. Gonna throw that over there. And this, I guess. Another piece of acrylic, which is weird. And this LED diffuser. LED diffuser. Core parts and hinges set. Core parts and hinges. Got it. All right, so this will probably be our chamber light, or usually they put them on the front of the heat bed. It can be like a, I guess Bamboo's doing it now too. They got the kind of the status light. It blinks red when it's angry and green when it's happy, or white. So zip ties. I know we got zip ties. There they are. Handy dandy zip ties. Right there. We got those. How many do we need? 3. Uno, dos, tres. Cool. 1, 2, 3. And M310 RT. We need 2 of these. Ooh, I didn't know I dropped one until I heard it. I think that actually is an extra one. This bag I was intelligent enough to rip on 2 different corners, so it, you know, likes to get away from me. You like the t-shirt? Yeah. It's a cool t-shirt. It's got a American flag on the back and on the shoulder. It's a cool brand. I think I got it off Amazon. It's called 9 Line. I think it's, I'm not positive, but I believe it's like a veteran-owned clothing company. Spacer, electronics and fasteners. We need 3.2 by 6 by 5. Oh wow. So these ones, it's a multi-bag, like a grab bag of, just kind of a grab bag of stuff here. So it's kind of a mixture of parts. And, okay. Make sure they're the same size, because I do see there's, I think, 2 of one size and 1 of the other, but I think that'll help us process of elimination. Can't talk, sort that out. Okay, now what? And zip ties. One step is, you know, essentially gathering the parts, and the next step is putting it together. Okay. See if I can not screw this up. Let's see. So we want to, let's put that there. Gonna move that for now. Nothing to see here. Okay, this flips this way. All right, let's see. So I'm doing this LG I can't talk. I was going to say LED. Let's just start over. LED strip. So I'm going to peel the adhesive off. See why I call this chaos channel, right? It's like sort of organized chaos. Prusa is just fun to put together, but kind of a hot mess. All right. I want that center LED to line up with that center hole there. Just like putting on the Lego stickers. You got one shot. Maybe. What the? You know what? I think I peeled off, not intentionally, but I think the adhesive came off with it. Which is crazy, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, we just kind of peeled the adhesive, came right off with the original sticker there, but we rectified it. All right. So we're going to center that center LED right here. There's a little screw hole. Okay, we're not going to push on the resistors, but we're going to try to get that thing to stick. Cool. Pretty happy with that. So, looks pretty good, pretty good. Okay, now we take our little LED diffuser and let's see, where are we going? Okay, so our little LED diffuser here. And then we're gonna, holy cow, okay, what came out of nowhere. Got a lot of magnetic things, including parts of my desk, so it's got a lot of magic of physics happening over here at some points. Okay. All right, now we're going to peel this off. This is acrylic because it says right on the backing for it. So we're going to peel this off. Yep, nice acrylic. It looks like we have a clear protective layer on the other side as well. When they say kit, man, they make you do the whole thing, don't they? Okay. What do you think, shiny side or dull side? I don't know. Kind of liking the dull side. I don't know if it really matters. Okay. And then we're going to screw this bad boy down. At some point here, these are, what are these, Torx? Some point here we'll get it to put on the heat bed, hopefully. There we go. One down. Come on, girl. There we go. We found it. Snug, not too tight. Bam. All right, zip tie. Okay, let's see, that ain't gonna work. Gotta go down and then around. I was trying to get crafty there. Put a square peg in a round hole. Literally. Okay. There's that. These zip ties are going to hold our LED cable to this heat bed cartridge. Okay. Cool. Got it. Make the bend, go around. We're going to tighten these down. It's really so hard to get through the sheet metal. Those little zip ties like to not kink, but you know, got like a 90-degree bend on the bottom, so doesn't always like to do what it's supposed to there. Okay, there's one. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Kind of pull this cable straight, cinch it down a little bit. Okay, cool. Easy peasy. Yeah, right tool for the job. I need to go check on my print over here anyway. Oh yeah. Oh my. One second. Grab some clippers here. Get these zip ties cut correctly. Sweet. All right, what do we got next? Printed parts package. All right. Then for the bed mount. I think we found it. Bed mount left, bed mount right, bed mount rear. Looks like that one. Looks like this and this. that back for later. It's going to take me a second. There's a whole bunch of parts I got to grab here. Where do we go? Some bearings and a bunch of screws. And 3x10. We're getting ready to put the heat bed on here. M3N. Back in game. Let's see, and then one last thing. 3NN. We had that. 10 of these. Cool. I think we did good. Okay, we're getting into these bearings here. So, they're the only ones in blue bags, which means they sourced them elsewhere, right? They were not made by Prusa. Okay, then we're looking for the left bed mount. And we're going to put that bearing right inside there. Like that. Click. Sounds good. Okay, click. Cool. Gonna put a nut in there. Trying to align this bearing like it wants. There we go. It's good enough. Okay, next one. My hands are gonna have to get washed after this. Got oil all over them. These bearings really like to pop in tight. That other one went in way easier. Let's see. I don't know about way easier, but easier for sure. All right, that one's set good. Put this nut in here. All right, we're doing good. And then screw. And that's Allen screw. Cool. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right. Next. Holy moly. Okay. Need to put a bunch of these on the bottom. These lock nuts. On the bottom of this piece. These bed mounts. Man down, man down. Alright. There's that one. And that one. Cool. Got it. And then this one needs what? Should have two more. They're there. Say, unless I counted wrong. So let's put them as far down as possible. They're flush, so it's probably as froggy as I'm going to get with that piece. All right, next. Undo it. Okay, gonna flip this around. And then, holy moly. Thought those would stay in there, but they don't. It's not gonna be helpful. Gonna have to kind of hold these in, which is gonna be a pain. It's not the end of the world, except kind of oil all over my hands. It's kind of an interesting little suspension here. Okay, there's one of the nuts held together. Two. A couple of those nuts are falling out, and they're just going to have to fall out until they're ready, I guess. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side here. Double check the all tight. Okay. We got one screw that won't stand, so that'll be interesting. Or one nut, rather. All right, let me look at some here. All right. M312. CT. They note on here that they may have different names for this screw, but I think we found it. Okay. Spacer 6 by 3 by 1.8. Next extruder. Stand by, I'm looking for a part. Imagine that. Okay. All right. Yeah, we could stream the very first test, Brett. We could stream the very first test print of the resin printer. I don't foresee that being an issue. M3 4BT. I mean, that'd be pretty good idea. What if it blows up? What if it just like falls apart? Guess we're not really assembling that one, right? So wouldn't really matter as much. Nailed it. Okay, that goes in the middle. Got it. Here comes the heat bed. Oh my. Okay. So we're trying to hit the one screw right in the middle here. Oh man, I think that was like pretty close. We did a pretty good job. Pretty good job. So I think we do our hole in the middle. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. We're back. Do you think Pursa's assembly instructions are clear enough or organization how the parts are printed? Yeah, I mean, I do overall. It's, I don't know that I could knock them, to be honest. They're pretty stellar. Like I said, I've modeled some of the things I've done after them. Doesn't mean I won't complain the whole time that, I'm putting it together, but some of that's my organizational skills, and some of it's honestly just the sheer amount of, there's a lot of parts, and I mean, I think there's probably different ways to organize it. Doesn't make it right or wrong, but yeah, their instructions are pretty clear. I think they do a really good job. Probably one of the bigger projects I've put together over time is some of these as far as that. I think they're a little bit Lego-esque, try to follow the Legos, I guess in my mind, the king of instructions and parts and all the things, right? So it's a little bit like that. Like they label stuff. The bags have labels, the boxes have labels, the part bags have labels, like the whole hierarchy of it, but it's still a lot. I did prefer the Ziploc bags, like I said, that way you can reseal them and throw them back in, because right now, you see, and I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist here, but it's like you have all these partially open bags that now are in the labeled bags, and I can't really throw these back in. I'm real careful. I just tear off a little corner to get my screws out, but at the end of the day, it's like, some of these have a lot of screws and some are like, there's only one in a bag kind of thing, but anyway, it's kind of what it is. But no, I don't know, man. I don't think I could say their instructions are bad. I appreciate their instructions. There's always room for improvement, for sure. But I don't know what I could do to really critique them too much. Put in all the bed screws, which is good, making progress. Probably go a couple more steps here, and then probably end the stream for today. Got some other stuff I gotta do. But want to make some progress every day. Get it done, build some content. Also just get my workspace cleared off. That's the big thing. Snug, 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 snug. It's good to go back and try to tighten these. I just kind of always reference putting on a car wheel, but value for money. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying they're dollar for dollar, like the same exact price as bamboo, but I mean, they are, right? And I'd say, they're in the same class, but they're also, I don't know. There's some pros and cons to them for sure. Like I said, even just like the camera situation and like the app, Pursa's got an app now I just started using. But there's some things Bamboo's ahead on. Pursa was ahead on the marketplace, right? The 3D marketplace, they had printables. Bamboo Labs, they've been out for a while now. It's not, I wouldn't say it's new, it's mature, but they have Maker World, right? And they kind of came late. Printables, I believe, has been around a lot longer than that. Could be wrong, but I know as far as what I always came across. So I think they kind of came at it from different sides, right? One came at it from a maker perspective, which is Pursa. Bamboo came at it from more of a, turnkey plug and play perspective. But I don't know. In terms of value for money, I don't know. I guess, at the end of the day, I have more Bamboos. So I'm going to, me personally, I think spend the money on that. I do like having the Pursas in the fleet because I think they do some things better, like I said. But, I think where actions speak louder than words, I have more Bamboos than I do anything. Just because I know how to do things and I enjoy building them or learning about them doesn't mean I want to be totally manual every day. But I am open-minded. I do want to see Pursa succeed too. and I do, like I said, they do some things better, which is why I'm, again, through actions, at least building one of their newer printers. So let's see. Tells me to tighten them in a star pattern, which I already did. Do it gently but firmly. Okay. Cable top cover. Cable top cover. Where do we put it? Where do we put it? Right here. Okay. So, see if, I'm trying to see if that's a Torx or what we got going on there. Before I get too froggy, I'm gonna loosen this a little bit. If I can find the tools. Right tool for the right job here. Not the droid we're looking for. I'm trying to remember. I feel like that's just spinning. I can't quite remember if there's a, I think there was a nut on the bottom of there, wasn't there? Don't know that I'm going to leave that loose. It's not loose, but you know. The old magnetic trick. Let's see. It would be awesome to do kind of a competition, right? Between the different kind of main brands. And I'll be honest, I mean, you know, I think like a lot of consumers, I started off, you know, with an ender, but I also don't have any now, so there's that. I kind of wondered about that at times. I mean, I don't feel really compelled to like go build an ender, really. But I don't know, I feel like you'd see more about them if they were kind of that prosumer category. Or I know they got some bigger ones and some newer ones, but I don't know. I don't know if I would be excited enough or motivated enough to go try to build one of theirs new ones. I don't know if they got new stuff out there, really, I guess. To my knowledge, there's not, and I don't know. Let's see about this here. And 3x10. Stand by. I think I should have put those spade connectors down the other way. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I think it would have given me a little bit more room. Didn't really say, unless I totally missed the boat on it, but We'll see how the screws feel when they go together. We're not putting too much pressure on it. I'm not worried about it. So just putting the cover on the power cables that come off the heat bed. Yeah, I think I would probably swap those. I mean, the printed parts aren't perfect either. I mean, they're totally acceptable, but they're not perfect, so I don't know that I would get too worried about flipping it just for that. Okay, and this is the guy I threw earlier. I think found in the printed parts package. It's got to be this. Got to be this. Unless there's a lot of these, I guess, floating around. But all right. All right. So we're gonna take the, let's see, our RGB LED, and we're gonna snake it through this hole that's right by the power connectors, back up to the top of the bed, just like that. We all knew it was going there. You knew it was going there. I knew it was going there. Everybody knew, right? Okay. What? I am like super confused. Apparently I jumped the gun on putting that piece on. Just for science. Yeah, that's a good name, man. I like that, just for science. That is a good name. I know the guy that has that name. He's a real cool dude, too. Pretty fly. All right. So all the cables, go through our little cover here. Being very mindful not to pinch them. I think, yeah, doing good. Snug. That's interesting. Almost like bulged up when I tightened it. Huh. Kind of crazy. I'm gonna take it apart. Out of curiosity. Don't know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna reposition these cables, I think. Do I want to or do I not want to? I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know if it really is gonna matter. But we're gonna do it. Thinking if I flip my power cables around here, it'll give me a little more freedom. With my tightening of my pieces here. It's going to be a little interesting because the nuts are now going to be really difficult to get to, I think, without taking a bunch of stuff apart. Okay. But I think we can get it done. I'm not sure it's really going to help us, to be honest. I think it would have been okay how it was also. But there's a little bit of stress on that spot, and I don't know, just didn't like it. More so curious to see if the fitment's better the other way. We're good. We could flip this around. And not even miss a beat. And there it goes. I knew that was going to happen. So we got one screw. That's going to be tricky without pulling the heat bed apart, which we can do if we need to. We're taking the power cables off. We want to make sure we're putting them right back on the right side here. I'm trying to do the harder to get to one first here, just for science, as Javier says. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. The trouble is, everything's magnetic under here. All right. What a balancing act. I might have to take the bed off, which I probably won't if I can just get it going with this. But it probably would have been the easier way. So I don't know if this is totally necessary. But we're making it necessary. You're like, there's that we again. Okay. You're like, are we there yet? Just about. All right, got a little angle back to it, which is good. And I think this is gonna fit better. May have been intended to be that way, but I either didn't catch it or it didn't matter. Just for science. We're doing everything just for science. I have a good feeling this is gonna help. Okay. Coming back to, that's not the part we're looking for. Don't honestly know. Not convinced. It made a big difference, but we'll see. All right. All right, so I'm gonna tuck the wires back in. I'm actually gonna go with these first. Get in your home. Get in your home. Get in your home. Seeing pros and cons to this now. So when I flip the wires around, I think it's going to help the cover go back together better, but I think it also allowed for less room for the other wires. So, don't know. Don't know. Really want this cover just kind of just right. Protects our power cables and everything, so. Turning a 2-minute job into a half-hour job, but it's okay. Yeah, pretty much. It's a critical part for sure. You know, as much as these things vibrate and bounce around, I want to make sure the power's where it needs to be so we don't have any issues. safety issues or fires or anything like that. Ultimately, just want the printer to work well. Trying to give it its best shot, you know, its success here. So, at least that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Yeah. So, the verdict, let's see. Did all that extra effort pay off? And more importantly, did it really matter? I think I don't think so. I don't think it really mattered. I think there's a lot of pressure here. It causes some bulging. So we try to kind of two different ways, but there's a little bit of bulging in the plastic piece. It's not the wires. Well, it is the wires, but it's not the actual wires. It's kind of where the wires are crimped to the connectors. It's so tall right there. So I try to flip it around, seeing if, because those screw terminal connectors, you know, they have kind of that wrist to them. So I spun it around to see if one way would make a difference, and it got those connectors out of the way, but then it also ended up, you know, causing some other issues because the other cables won't sit as well. So ended up in the same boat. All right, I'm back. Okay. All right. So the other thing, they want us to, the heat bed cables, kind of wanted this sandwiched in the cover, but I don't know. We might do that. We might not. The reason I say that is because that cover's kind of already got a lot going on in there. Holy moly. Okay. But we'll see. I'm trying to get all these wires put together in here. Let's see. These are always fun to put on. I'm going to do this and see if I can get this cover to kind of go in that part we just tightened a little bit to kind of help secure it, but I'm not going to cram it up in there too far. These are one of those things you always get in like a rhythm. By the time you get in a rhythm, you're kind of done, and then so long before you put more of it on again. There we go. Just kind of give them a nice little twist. Kind of get it to seat. All right. One final step, and we'll probably call it for tonight. We got, I think, most of the heat bed put together. The rest of it's kind of putting it on there, which I'll probably kick off with tomorrow, depending on how the day goes. This textile sleeve can be kind of nice, but it can also be a pain in the butt. All of our extra work here to take the stress off this piece. I think we just keep adding to it, even though we're doing it the right way. Oop, there goes some screws. Man down, man down. All right. So I think we'll call it quits there for today. We should be really close to mounting that guy tomorrow, but yeah, the new purse is almost ready. Indeed. So what is this, part 3? Hopefully part 4 will be it, maybe a part 5. See what we can knock out tomorrow, but